Company's the card guys with no Z against Gaming
there's
Legends.
a Z.
Oh, is there a Z?
Yeah, it's.
I'm putting an S because this isn't the card guys.
That's not the card guys you think you know.
These are the Chinese or Russian like animated knockoffs, you know.
I don't know about all that, but all right. So on the left we have Michael Jafar versus Kenny McCarthy. Mike's going first.
Now, have you seen any Zodiac or True Draco cards in?
I don't. I see two Mrs. Radiant in his extra deck, which makes me think he's playing Pure. I also didn't see any Draco cards in his hand. When he flashes his hand again, I'll take a look. I believe I saw Combo, a Cosmic Cyclone, Book, Torrential, and Ghost Ogre. And he has Rat in hand, which is just normal summon. So it looks like this is Pure. Yeah, looking through his deck, I see Pianissimo.
Hot.
It's got all the makings of a Pure Zoo deck.
Hot. I'm down for some stuff. All right, here's everyone's favorite Link monster at the moment. Now, I believe Kenny's on Draco Zoo, so I'll put that for now. I can't 100% confirm, but I know last week at Locals, I'm pretty sure he was playing it.
So the only Zoo card in Mike's hand was Barrage. So he was only able to get out Mrs. Radiant with Dryden. I don't know why he didn't put another material under that Dryden. Because once you pop on your opponent's turn, you would still like the Dryden to have a material on your turn. I don't agree with that.
Okay, never mind. Irrelevant.
Doesn't matter.
Gamma Seal!
Hide this here. I see. Oh, wow.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, wow.
Wait, did he goof me? Is he not playing Zodiac?
Hello. That's a card.
Hello!
So we see Venus. I saw a diagram in his hand, I think. I won't get too excited.
I'm doing it for now. Welcome to Dino Rabbit format, boys.
So this is actually Stargrails, or World Chalice, as it's called now.
Ooh.
So for those of you who don't know, World Chalice is a Link summoning based deck that uses a bunch of cards, a bunch of cards that...
nah, there's two L's.
Okay. A bunch of cards that just summon lots of monsters, and then you use them for Link summons. And you end with huge boards of Firewall Dragon.
We're going to get to see a Firewall Dragon?
We are going to get to see Firewall Dragon, if all goes as planned. Now, there is a Torrential in Mike's back row, so I don't think this combo is going to go completely to fruition.
See, if he was making Gachi here, and he made the Gachi first, Gachi wouldn't care about that Torrential tribute.
That is true.
Gachi would have been Gucci. Bye, Gamma Seal.
So all the World Chalice Link monsters have an effect when they're sent from the field to the graveyard, where you can special summon a World Chalice monster from your hand. The one he just summoned, World Chalice Lee, I think it's called, has a Stratos-like effect where you search a guy when he's summoned, and another effect where you can send a monster from your hand or field to the graveyard to add it from your graveyard back to your hand.
Oh, that's cool.
So Mike's used Ghost Ogre here to destroy it so that Kenny can't use it for a Link summon. However, one thing that Mike probably doesn't know is the Link monster that Kenny just summoned, which took one normal monster, can't be made using the World Chalice guy on the field. In fact, if you have just one World Chalice guy and nothing else, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Interesting.
So that was probably a mistake on Mike's part, just due to not knowing what this deck does.
Oh!
So there's Soul Charge here. Now, I'm pretty sure Kenny's board will look something like triple Firewall Dragon, double link spider, and depending on what other spice he's playing, maybe we'll get to see a few others.
Did Yu-Gi-Oh just get interesting again?
Yu-Gi-Oh's always been interesting. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. The last couple months have not been great. I think you did that. Let me get that. I don't know which part you did exactly. Here, wait, talk for me, boy.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we're good. Okay.
Yep, you're good.
Just kicked a wire there by accident.
Yeah.
So now Kenny's used that Link Monster's effect, his name is I'm Duck, to gain an additional tribute summon, or additional normal summon of a World Chalice monster. So he summoned World Legacy World Chalice, and then he used it as a Link material for Ib, the World Chalice something. And he's now using World Legacy World Chalice's effect. If it's been normal summoned and it leaves the field, you summon 2 World Chalice monsters from your deck. So Kenny's chosen to summon 2 World Chalice Beckoned, which are level 4 normal monsters.
Wait, can this deck play Rescue Rabbit?
This deck can play Rescue Rabbit. It can also play Rescue Ferret, which is even more exciting for me.
Oh! It is Dino Rabbit. It plays Venus and Rescue Rabbit?
Now,
this is Dino Rabbit format.
I think Kenny is cheating right now.
We can go
that
stop
Emerald can't go there.
And it looks like his opponent's going to point that out for him.
Yeah. So, what Kenny's trying to do somewhere in the combo is use those 2 Beckons to summon Daiguster Emerald. And you would think he would want to summon a normal monster with summoning the deck. But what he's actually going to do is put the 3 Shine Balls back in his deck and summon them all again. So he has more monsters to use for his Link summons.
So did his Link monster not give him additional zones to Link
summon? So Ib's arrows point directly left and right. So while it's in the extra monster zone, it doesn't get you any additional places where you can summon monsters from the extra deck. But when it's in the main monster zone, it does. It gives you 2 more.
Now I haven't played with the new rules yet, so I actually have a legitimate question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that this is yes, you can do this based on what I saw from Zodiac, but I want to confirm. So let's say his Link monster had an arrow just pointing straight back in that circumstance, right?
Yep.
And he had summoned his 2 normal monsters to the opposite zones, neither of which were that zone. Would he still be able to XYZ to that zone?
Yeah. So you can use monster. You can summon an Exceed or something like that to a zone where a Link monster points, even if a monster that you're using as material already exists there.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what I didn't know, because I know when you play on DN, you always have to overlay into a zone where one already was.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it's if your material isn't in that zone to start with, you can't summon to that zone, and thus you can't summon.
Right. So there's Aurum, the World Chalice Blade Master, in Kenny's extra monster zone right now.
This is hot.
He has an effect where you contribute a World Chalice monster you control to special summon a monster from your graveyard to a zone that he points to. So there's a World Legacy World Chalice coming back. I don't know what this is going to do exactly for him, because it hasn't been normal summoned or set, so it's not going to get an effect when it leaves the field.
Might just be fodder. What level is it?
It's level 5, but the level doesn't really matter concerning the Link summoning. I think what he might just be trying to do is get some stuff on the board. Here comes Dark Hole. Yeah. So the World Chalice deck is he summoning Guyz? Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
What card is he trying to use?
He's trying to use World Legacy World Chalice's effect. That's been special summoned.
World Legacy World Chalice. I'm just gonna double check on Wiki before I go over there.
Normal summoned.
This card faces normal, so leave the field. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk about that real quick.
Okay. So while Mike goes to run over there. Yeah, so I guess what we just saw there was Kenny had a pretty standard opening for the World Chalice deck, where you have Venus, even extenders like Soul Charge. The deck plays Brilliant Fusion, all sorts of crazy things. And yeah, so Mike just corrected that. So when you go first and your opponent doesn't have any sort of interruption, then you're able to do all these crazy things with Link Monsters. You can end with, there's a version that I was testing where I would summon 3 Firewall Dragons, 2 Link Spiders, and an Archeria Beast to stop my opponent from doing pretty much anything. And if you can go first and do that consistently, then you're going to win those games. The problem is when your opponent has a hand trap, or when you go second, there's pretty much any form of disruption is going to stop your plays, and then you don't really have much to fall back on. So in the game we see here,
this is Mike Albanese versus, I can't see who his opponent is.
Yeah.
I want to say it might be Jared Flora? I'm not sure.
Mike Albanese versus Mystery Duelist.
Hello, Duelist. But Kenny immediately scooping it up once he's like, oh, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Who's on the card, guys? It is Mike Albanese and friends that aren't actual card guys.
Mike Albanese, Chris LeBlanc, and Michael Jafar.
I see the actual card guys actually sitting nearby.
Yep.
Let's see, Blair Hunter. And I don't know who the guy in the pink shirt is.
Blair, Joe Bogley, and Paulie.
Oh, it is Bogley. Oh, wow. I haven't seen him in a while.
That's not pink.
That's
salmon.
It's peach. Peach salmon. Yeah, pink was wrong. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. So I believe Blair, Paulie, and Joe Bogley are playing on a Card Guys team. I think Ryan Levine and Calvin Tahan are also playing on a Card Guys team. I don't know who the last guy on their team is. And then Mike Albanese named his team the Card Guys because, who wouldn't want to be the Card Guys?
I haven't seen Paul in a while. Glad to see him on the circuit.
Yeah, Paulie's a good friend of mine. I've known him for about 5 years now. He used to only go to Connecticut local events, which is where we're from. But just recently he started traveling to bigger events, which is really cool. He's really good.
He's really good, but he's also just a very positive player and influence in the community.
He's the most positive individual I think I've ever met in my life.
All right, so we're gonna kick back here to McCarthy's game. Well, Chalice on the play now.
Yeah, so there's no hand traps from Jafar, and Kenny drew Venus. So we're going to get to see exactly what this deck is trying to do.
So for people who haven't seen Firewall Dragon, what's the type about?
So Firewall Dragon is a Link 4 monster that has arrows pointing up, down, left, and right.
All right, so this is one of the ones that does give your opponent a summon.
Right, but it has 2 really powerful effects. Once while it's face up, you can add monsters from the graveyard or field back to the hand equal to the number of monsters that it's co-linked with. So it's pointing to a Link monster, and that Link monster is also pointing to Firewall Dragon. For each one of those, you can summon you can add a monster from the field or graveyard to the hand. And this is a quick effect, so you can use it to add monsters from your graveyard usually back to your hand, so you can keep using them.
Or dodge a Dark Hole or Raigeki.
I don't think you can do this either.
What is he trying to do?
Go and tell Kenny that Aurum needs 2 World Chalice monsters.
Is that Aurum? Are you sure?
Yeah, Aurum.
Okay, sure.
Auram.
Yep, I'll be right there.
Yeah, so to answer Mike's question, so Firewall Dragon adds monsters from the graveyard to the hand, or you can bounce them from your opponent's field and use it as a defensive card. That affects only once while it's face up, but it has another effect where any number of times per turn, you can summon a monster from your hand when a monster that he points to is sent from the field to the graveyard, which lets you do some insane combos where you summon monsters from your hand that you've added back with other Firewall Dragons, and then keep comboing off.
So this is Kenny's first event back from ARG in a year, after getting banned for unrelated things that isn't gameplay related.
Yeah.
And he's he's just not playing correctly.
Yeah. So it's very possible that the World Chalice deck, first of all, it just came out, so no one really is. He
might have just built it because I know he was playing Zoo a week ago. So.
Yeah, the deck is a lot of fun, but the cards are really complicated. It uses the Link summoning mechanic pretty heavily, so you have to understand all the ins and outs of that. The cards themselves have a lot of text, So it's very possible that he just actually doesn't know what his cards do.
Yes, Bowden. World Chalice guy is Kenny McCarthy. I don't know who let him use World Chalice. Probably his mom who gave him his allowance.
Who built this game? So right now, the kind of play that Kenny's trying to do is he's trying to use Orm's effect. Since Orm can summon any monster from his graveyard, he's going to try to use that. He's going to try to use Orm to get Link monsters back from his graveyard. Is my mic going out?
No, yeah, it's not. You're fine. Don't worry. It's just the feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
So it looks like Kenny is about to summon Ningarisu, the World Chalice something or other. I don't know what they're actually called. Or not. There's a Ningarisu's effect. He's a Link 3. He has arrows pointing up, left, and right. And when he's Link summoned, you can draw cards equal to the number of World Chalice monsters he points to. So if you can summon him really easily, it's a great way to gain card advantage. It looks like Kenny is going to instead summon a bunch of Link monsters.
Why is it this deck reminds me of Ritual Beast?
The combos take a while. They're very involved. And in this case, they end with not very much. Which are all things Ritual Beast did.
Yeah, also additional summons.
Yeah, lots of additional summons.
Man, I love playing that deck. That deck was great.
Lots of extenders.
Picana Hawk to 2.
Yeah.
And Construct.
Yeah, free construct. So Michael Jafar's got Regeki, which is I think going to take care of the whole board. He's got Zoom monsters. Kenny's got back row, but like I didn't see what they were when he flashed his hand. But unless it's like barrier, which would be a reasonable thing to do. Oh, Solemn Warning's also pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, but it's probably on his body, so like. Unless the other one's barrier, he's going to be able to interact with it probably, unless it's like strike.
I think this is effectively going to end.
Oh, does he not have Barrage in hand? Oh.
He can like Cyclone the back row, which is not a great play since he has no follow-up. He can set bluffs. There's nothing Cyclone's going to hit next turn that Kenny could be trying to use as like a combo piece. Maybe like Brilliant Fusion, I guess. But I think... if Kenny Kenny has no hand, so
right.
He's going to have to put 8,000 damage together. I believe Ib, the monster that is in the main monster zones right now, has an effect that while a Link monster points to it, it can't be destroyed by card effects.
Oh,
so that might be why.
Man, this deck is sweet.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How about this?
There's actually a combo I did using Rescue Ferret because I think that card's adorable.
I mean, yeah, that's not even up for discussion.
Yeah. Or like with Rescue Ferret, since Rescue Ferret can summon any monsters from your deck to a place a Link monster points to, as long as the monster's total level equals 6. My friends and I built a World Chalice deck where we would use...
Oh! Dueling Cyclones. See, he should have probably main phased it though, because like now he loses the body.
I don't think the body's too useful. But yeah, we would summon Ferret, and then use Ferret to summon Glow-Up Bulb, Maxi, and Ash Blossom. And then we use them for Link monsters, and Firewall Dragon the Maxi and the Ash Blossom back to hand, and then use the Bulb to make a Naturia Beast.
Man,
and that was how...
Glow Bulb is like the real G.
Glow Bulb's awesome.
Glow Bulb's great.
Glow Bulb's like 6 years old at this point.
When's the last time Glow Bulb was played competitively? Did they play in the Lightsworn deck? When they got the structure deck?
I don't think so.
They didn't play it in Sylvans, I know that.
No, they played it in Sylvans towards the end.
Oh, really?
It was like once Sylvans started getting popular, people started playing it, I think.
Oh, they played Stardust, yeah.
To make, or maybe that was Spore. It might have been.
They
Spore.
definitely played Spore, but I think you might be right. I think they might have been trying to make Stardust more because of the board wipes.
Yeah.
Or sorry, because of hands, like make Stardust and the hands.
Level 8 synchros were really good in that format, I know. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I miss that format a lot. That was a great format. Marmel, Lightsworn, Moldolce, all that stuff.
There was an ARG here actually.
Yep.
When that format started.
Yep.
Before they, right before the first Invitational.
We had Fraser Smith, Sean McCabe, and Silverman on a playmat.
Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
We also, my first round of commentary before I worked for ARG was at that event. It was round 3 with Chris LeBlanc. It was Fraser Smith versus Pat Hoban. Chris adamantly claimed that Pat Hoban had the game on lock, and I explained a 8-play sequence. Like they also consisted of drawing a specific card and milling a specific card that Fraser could have the win. Chris literally turned to me and was like, "That's impossible. That doesn't work." And then Fraser immediately did. I was like, and he's like, "All right, gotta get down." I was like, "Yep." But yeah, that was good ARG. There's just so many things in the Top Cut, like different decks. And you can just sideboard, it was not just there were so many decks, but also sideboard cards were universal. So it's not like you're like, oh, because I'm not sideboarding this card, I'm just throwing away this matchup. It's like, no, this sideboard card works against 2 decks, so.
Yeah. So it appears that there's some confusion about IB's effect. I believe the wording on IB is a bit confusing. It says if this linked card would be destroyed by battle or a card
What's
effect.
the exact name of it? I'll get the wiki.
IB, the World Chalice Priestess, I believe.
IB, the World Chalice Priestess. Okay. This linked card cannot be destroyed by a card. Yeah. So it probably was oh, this card in the linked zone, but it's no, this linked card.
So linked card. I don't know if that means if something's pointing to it, if it's pointing to something. I have no idea.
That is a good question. Because right now it is not pointing to anything else because it only has the left-right zones.
Right, but the Aurum in the extra monster zone is pointing to both of them.
Right, this is correct. I believe they're continuing play because I don't see our head judge really Oh no, our head judge looks like he's looking on his phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can find out.
Probably looking up what
there's a hyperlink to the word. So there's a hyperlink to the word linked, so I'm going to click that right now. A monster is linked if it points to another monster or if another monster points to it. So in both cases, it is linked. Yep. So this is a legally linked card as far as Konami is concerned.
Yeah, Konami, I think, should have done a better job making the new link mechanic, making the rules for that clear. Because right now, there's a lot of confusion about the extra link, because it's something Japan has, but it's not in the rulebook.
Right.
And in the rulebook, it would be one thing if the rulebook explicitly said you can only have one monster in an extra monster zone for each player. But instead, it's just ambiguous. It says, normally, you can only have one monster in the extra monster zone.
And it doesn't give any alternatives.
Yeah. And then I know in Jerome's video, where he introduced the link mechanic, he mentioned offhand, he was like, there's also a way to get 7 monsters on the field, implying that you can summon to both extra monsters.
Right.
But we're not going to get into that. And we're just like, well, yeah, let's get into that.
It's let's get into that. Also, your content is garbage.
It's how about we have we explain what the rules of the game are? But that's another issue.
That's neither there or there.
Yeah. I think if Kenny had his way, there would be some extra link attempts.
Wait, so did his links get killed by Raigeki? What happened?
Yeah.
No, there was a Dryden.
Dryden punched over the Aurum, and then since the IBs were no longer linked to anything, he could Raigeki them in main phase 2.
Oh, okay. So I thought he already played the Raigeki and misplayed the game.
No,
okay.
I think it was just confusion about what.
Right. So he called a judge before he made the play.
Yeah.
But his question wasn't what happens if I play Raigeki. His question was what is considered linked.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So Lee punches over Hammer Kong. Mike can still use Dryden's effects. I don't know how far this is going to go. I hope Kenny doesn't try to.
Wait, who can use Dryden effect? Kenny's not playing Mike.
No, Mike Jafar.
I just don't.
There's too many Mikes.
Yeah, I don't call him Mike.
I don't know.
I was like, he's like, what? Synchro, what?
All right.
Kenny's gonna scoop it up. So Jafar's gonna get that game. Let's go check back in on everything. Mike Albany's here.
So.
Oh, it looks like Mike Albany's just got a concession.
Mike Albany's took that game
So
also.
I think he just won.
It appears that there is a slip being signed.
Yeah, so I believe Mike Albany's team, the card guys not trademark, has won.
That is match. Here's Mike's opponent is flipping over the top cards of his deck, looking for anything that could have possibly saved him.
Yeah, and Jafar also just won his match, so.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think you lose with that board that Mike had. I just don't think you lose.
Well, it could have been a game 2.
Yeah, but like the fact that he's
match.
not like sideboarding, he's going through cards.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to take a quick break. We're actually going to go offline for a bit while I try to fix up a few technical issues here. We'll be back with round 3 of our 3v tournament as soon as possible. Don't go away.